Court of Appeals hears arguments on controversial Venezuelan deportation case. Did the Trump administration overstep its authority by invoking a centuries-old wartime law to deport Venezuelan nationals? The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals is now tasked with answering this critical question. The case centers around the Trump administration's use of a 1798 wartime law. This law, originally intended for times of conflict, was used to justify the deportation of Venezuelan nationals. The administration argued this was necessary to remove dangerous aliens posing a threat. Critics argue that applying this antiquated law is a gross overreach of executive power. They contend it sets a dangerous precedent for future administrations. The legal challenge questions the law's applicability in the context of modern immigration enforcement. Judge James Boasberg initially ordered a halt to the deportations. This order specifically targeted the planned deportation of Venezuelans to El Salvador. However, a plane carrying deported individuals, including Venezuelans, arrived in El Salvador despite the order. This blatant disregard for the court's order sparked further legal action. Judge Boasberg demanded detailed information about the flights and the individuals deported. The Justice Department's response has been met with scrutiny. The Justice Department has pushed back against the court's demands for information. They argue that the court is attempting to extract sensitive information. The government even hinted at invoking the State Secrets Act to protect certain information. This assertion of executive privilege raises serious questions about transparency and accountability. It also highlights the ongoing tension between the executive and judicial branches. The government insists its authority as a co-equal branch should be respected. This case has significant implications for Venezuelan nationals seeking refuge in the United States. The outcome could determine the fate of many individuals facing deportation. It also raises broader questions about the treatment of asylum seekers. The case also has far-reaching consequences for immigration law. A ruling in favor of the government could embolden future administrations to use similar legal justifications. A ruling against the government could limit executive power in immigration matters. The Court of Appeals now holds the power to shape the future of this case. Their decision will have a profound impact on immigration law and executive power. The court must carefully weigh the arguments presented by both sides. The court could uphold the lower court's order, further restricting the government's actions. Alternatively, the court could side with the government, potentially allowing the deportations to proceed. The legal community awaits the court's decision with bated breath. This case represents a critical juncture in the ongoing debate over immigration policy and executive power. The Court of Appeals' decision will have lasting consequences for Venezuelan nationals and the future of immigration law. Stay informed about this case by following reputable news sources, engaging in thoughtful discussions with your peers, and contacting your elected officials to voice your concerns. Your active participation is crucial in shaping a just and equitable immigration system.